This is the story of a Staffordshire forest which has become home to some extraordinary and precious Moroccan visitors. Two tribes of endangered Barbary macaque monkeys are transforming a sleepy woodland valley into a land where tradition and ritual govern all. The two chiefs, Eddie and Sydney, rule over these 17 families, keeping their tribes firmly in check. But nothing stays the same here for long. There are allegiances to be made and broken, fights won and lost, and lives begun and ended. Because in this forest, monkeys rule. As dawn breaks over the lower valley at Monkey Forest, the first tribe wake from their night in the trees. Together, these 10 families are nicknamed the Germans in recognition of the European park from which they were adopted in 2005. Primatologist Sue knows this group better than anyone. She spends her days studying them from a discreet distance, as any human contact is strictly forbidden. Recently, Sue's been paying particular attention to the aging tribe chief.
Actually, I think this might be Eddie over here. Yeah, it looks like him. As you can see, very big male. If a fight actually broke out now, what we would expect Eddie to do is to be able to go over to the fight and stop the fight, because he's a bit like a headmaster. He wants to make sure that everything is fine within his school.
As master of the entire German tribe, Eddie's job is not to escalate fights or to take sides. By combining his great experience with his sheer physical bulk, Eddie's presence alone is enough to silence even the cockiest troublemakers. But worryingly for Eddie, at 17 years old, he's in danger of being knocked from the top spot by a young pretender. The question on Sue's mind is who will be the monkey to push him from his throne.
This is Coco. This is one of the up-and-coming males. He's about 11 years old, and he's somebody that could possibly give Eddie a bit of a problem. Now, they actually make their friends by grooming, so if there's a fight that happens, they're hoping that all the monkeys that they've groomed will come along and they'll help them in a fight. And this is one way that Coco may be able to overturn Eddie.
But breakfast time puts pay to politics, for the moment at least. First to be served are rival tribe to the Germans, nicknamed the French group. These 7 families have staked a claim to the top of the hill. Aside from their food, all 140 macaques are entirely self-sufficient, and for creators of the forest, Guillaume and Sophie, it's vital that they stay that way.
It's important for us to keep them as natural as we can for many reasons. One is this species, unfortunately, is an endangered species. There are only less than 10,000 in the wild. The main reason is the loss of habitat through human settlement. So there is always this competition between human and monkeys.
We do insist a lot on the education side. It's very important for us because that's part of conservation. If you raise public awareness and you teach kids, because at the end of the day, I'm not the young generation, we need to teach them how to deal with animals, how to deal with nature so that they can preserve it.
Preservation is key, but the forest doesn't stand still for long. In a few months, there will be up to 5,000 visitors coming through the park gates every day.
Suddenly you start having thousands of kids all around, and in the summer it's buzzing completely. So you have 40 staff, but you have thousands of visitors on the path, and it is exciting.
With 60 acres in which to roam, the younger members of the tribes are free to learn the ways of the forest. Known only by number until old enough to be named, the youngsters are indulged by their tribe. And it's not just their parents who will offer them a free ride. On the hillside between the two groups, some of the French tribe's youngsters are now old enough to play together. Just across the border, 9-month-old L34 is frustrated. As a member of the German group, he can't join in. and his own tribe just isn't as much fun. The border between the two groups is sacred ground, but occasionally it will be crossed.
We're just walking up towards the second group now, and they make their own boundary between the two. And what's quite interesting is this male here is actually from the other group. This is V4. He hasn't got a name at the moment, but he has actually in the past been down in the area down there. So there is a chance that he could be trying to migrate, but we'd need to follow him more in order to see if that does actually happen.
If V4 does try to migrate, there's no telling how the German tribe will react. For now, he's biding his time at the border, but eventually every monkey must choose where his allegiance lies. As the sun sets over the valley, Eddie's long reign seems secure for another day. For now, at least, potential rival Coco is playing the model citizen. But spring is in the air, and times are changing. With both tribes soon to welcome new offspring, expectant young mother Cleopatra is a cause for concern. After her first baby died last year, there's no telling whether she will find her maternal instinct this time around. Will old-timer Lurch make it to his 20th birthday? And when will French migrant Duncan finally be accepted by his new tribe? Courtships and bus stops, births and deaths. There's everything to play for in this forest.
You just couldn't script what these monkeys do. It's absolutely fantastic. Every day is different. I mean, EastEnders have got nothing on this place.